statement of the entire speech.
Absolutely. And then he carried, even towards the end when he was finishing, he was saying, we will win the Senate. And he said, we will win the House or something like that, or we have won. And then I'm paraphrasing now, so do excuse me. But he said something, and he said, I wonder who's going to be president or take office. I wonder who will, take office. So something like that. And obviously he was talking about himself, meaning you see what happens, you're not going to believe it. It was along those lines. And, when you put that together with what we've just discussed with Joe Biden losing the House, and then Trump says, we have a bright future in front of us. You will see, the best has yet to come. And then we've got him saying, that he will beat them for the third time. When you put all that together, it's like he's telling us, hold the line. A bit like what Flynn said, don't give your glass of wine or your bottle of red wine just yet. Just hold the line. Something's going on here. Not the way we think may happen, like with the dates, but something in their timeline is happening. What's your views on that, Gene?
Exactly. And this goes into, if you watch how he speaks, he knows how the way language is used by the cabal and educated in our schools so that we use wording that's mind control, actually. So how the mind really works on words. So, for example, I can share a screen. If you can give me screen share, I can show you.
Absolutely. I would love that. Absolutely. We love screen shares, Gene. Let's have a look.
Not yet. Okay, let me try again. Okay, there. Now I got it. So if you look at this chart here, I can't. So if you use terms like I can't, that literally stops growth. Or I won't, that blocks your way. It's hard. You cannot command yourself. You're stopping yourself from achieving. I don't believe. I'm a skeptic. I'm skeptical. In other words, I don't like it. All of these things stop you from achieving. And then trying. He just says, we will. In other words, I can, I am, I believe it is done. I can do it. I can do anything. Those program the future, literally, and your mind as well. So that when you use this type of wording here, this is an absolute truth. It means that you're praying, meditating, your actions or words, you're self-empowered, literally promotes growth. It commands the self. It's better. It's a behavior that uses good words. It's unconditional. It moves forward in life. You let your whole body know it and hear it. And the body reacts to these key words, where if you're in, I try, I'm trying, I can, it's never ending. It's repetition. It's a race with no end. It has very little or no results. It conditions a person to be held back. It's a trying and taught behavior that's commanding yourself to block your own way. And so when you use these type of words or these type of words, we're programmed, try again. In other words, unending, on and never achieving. But if you listen in the speech at CPAC, he's saying, we will. That's, I can do, it is done. I believe, I am, So that is going forward into the future. And he actually, even more powerful than I can, is we will. That means it will be done like on earth as it is in heaven. It's sealed for all time, that like it is done. So he is literally programming the future and programming how things are going to come out and programming our minds, our bodies to understand what's really coming. So the voice is the vibration, and through that vibration, it vibrates your entire body and creates the future that, like Tesla said, if you produce within yourself and within your surroundings, in other words, everywhere, a vibration, you will get that reality. It can't be any other way, because through vibration, everything is created. The molecules, literally the particles that make them, are directed through vibration. And it's that vibration that creates our reality. And you get the reality you vibrate with. So Trump knows this well. And you can see in the inauguration speech, as well as in CPAC, this same type of verbiage of teaching us, like, when he was doing his rallies before 2016, was going around. And he said, there's no try, there's do. There's, he's constantly reteaching us, and everybody needs to do that for themselves, is to re-educate themselves on how to come back and do all of that kind of thing, to reprogram and restructure how we word things.
So basically, if I want to interview Donald Trump, I have to say, I am going to interview Donald Trump.
Yeah, I would like. I'm going to interview Donald Trump as soon as I can. I'm looking forward to interviewing Donald Trump next, or later on.
I'm going to interview him yesterday. Oh, God. Wow. It was an amazing speech. I did feel uplifted. And like you said, with these words, I will, I can, not only that, but he's giving he's giving other people that affirmation, and they're believing, and he's raising the consciousness like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And if I combine that with the things I know, series of a good attitude towards the future.
Me too. I mean, I do believe, I'm starting to personally believe that everything we're hearing about, March the 4th and, all of these dates, anything that's out there that we are hearing, I think it's fake news. And I think that the real timeline, and I think it's all good news, but the real timeline is only known by the president and probably 10 people who work with him. And they know the exact timeline, and everything else is put out there to confuse and to make us look stupid, by the deep state. What do you think about that?
Well, not to make us look stupid, but to confuse the deep state, because they think that when us get information, which some of us do, like I do get some information, and people constantly ask to get in touch with the Alliance through me. It doesn't go that way. My information comes to me. I don't send stuff back up line and go, here, I have this. I want, can you do this? And I just get information. So, people constantly asking, can, I have my child or it's gone or whatever. Can you? No, I can't. But, I get information on dates and stuff. And I've learned that all the dates I'm getting have constantly, I look because I can see the timelines. I know those are possibilities, but the Alliance is actually working the timelines. They're giving the cabal dates so that it's like Rick says on Blessed to Teach, where you constantly, they're walking a plank, and it's December, so then we got past that. So add another piece.
Trump supporters saying that, yes, Trump's going to be reinstated on the 4th of March. And maybe I was thinking that mainstream media is pushing that so that when it doesn't happen, or if it doesn't happen, they make us look stupid. And then the sleepers, continue thinking we're even, stupid. So maybe they are putting that out there so that we believe that, maybe. I don't know.
And that's why, like Rick said on Blessed to Teach, is that I don't go with dates. I go with what I see on the timelines. If you don't have that ability, then I just, have faith in God, because I do know God directly because of my death experience. But for those that don't have that advantage, but if you can't know all the stuff and the intel and look at the things I've said, then stay solid and get a procedure for your life. Absolutely.
I'm glad to hear it. I feel the same. I feel his energy. We don't know everything, but we know that he's got something up his sleeve, and he's working in the background.
And I would remind people that he's not somebody who gives up or loses or accepts defeat. Even before, if you watch how he lived as a financier, he got way, way down and bought himself back up again to the way beyond where he was before. So if we say that he's going to run this country the same way he ran his business, and he is the person who he is, then if we're down in the dumps now, like his financial empire got, and then he brought it up beyond what it was before it went down, and he, pulled himself up. So he's going to, I see that, people don't change much over time. If he doesn't change much, which is his nature all through his entire life, he will fight and bring it back to be. And he even said that in the speech. The best is yet to come, in other words, and that it's going to be better than it ever was before. It's going to bring us back, way up beyond where it was before. And that obviously you don't do that with a billions of dollars empire without a plan. Mm-hmm. You just, I'm going to do this, and you don't know how. And, he knew how. He knows what he's doing. He knows the art of the deal. Anybody who hasn't read that book, that and Sun Tzu's Art of War, I would say the best two books you could read right now to understand what's going on. Because Donald Trump is at the helm. And so he's going to bring us through this and back to better than it was. He rebuilt the economy twice. And, for me, the third time is sacred, because that's the Holy Trinity. He's going to bring it back beyond what we've ever seen before. It's going to be magnificent.
Mm. I agree with you. I think that we all need to sit back, enjoy the ride. I'm very confident with Trump winning, and also because I believe in God. And we have to leave it to God as well. And whatever will be is because it's in God's time. And I think that we just need to relax and be happy, because when we're happy, we're already working that vibration up.
Absolutely, Nicholas. And for those that, would read the Bible, whether you believe in God or not, there's a lot of archaeological proof. So when Moses, led the people out, and they're up against the Red Sea with their backs against the Red Sea, and the entire army of the Pharaoh was bearing down on them. Yeah, you could imagine how they felt. They're like looking at Moses going, there's an army coming at us. We are so toast. It's not like now where bad laws and stuff are being passed. You literally saw death riding down on top of you, the whole Egyptian army of Pharaoh coming down. And then, Moses turned, and there was a Red Sea moment. And I really do think that's what we're going to see, is a Red Sea moment where the hand of God is what, like Amanda Grace said, it's going to be obvious to the world that only God could pull what happens, what's coming. And when God reprimands the cabal, they're done. He doesn't let it, if you go look at the archaeological evidence, they found chariots and all kinds of armaments on the bottom of the Red Sea that are dated to precisely what the Bible says for that time frame. And not only that, if you look at historically, later on, Egypt lost its empire and it fell to Rome, because they lost the majority of their military, almost all of it. And they didn't have time to rebuild in the time that Rome was getting powerful. And so Rome was able to bring Egypt to its knees because of that. And the same thing before, where God has literally wiped out, the whole world pretty much just to bring down the cabal. And I think, we're going to see that again. The same type of a situation where it's going to be obvious the hand of God is on this. I know God and believe in God, absolute, and having, had that experience, but understand other people don't. So look at the archaeological evidence of what you see in the Bible. And, there's a lot of 17 coding in the Bible, like the 17th book of the Bible is Esther, which is an inversion plan. That's literally an inversion system, where you see an inversion of the cabal on where they're taken down by their own mechanisms. So I think that's exactly, we're going to see a Red Sea moment. That's, we have Quebec artichoke, or the 8th prime, which is of course that same number. And we're going to see that whole thing come about again. So, I would say for those that are, not God loving, and not to look at the evidence historically. And for those that are, be strong in your faith and your service, and know that through that, that's how everything will be done. That us being solid in our faith and service to God will bring about the future God moves if you're in service and in faith for those that are in service in faith. So as long as a large majority of the remnant stand up and keep their faith through this hard time, it's going to be done, as it said, on earth as it is in heaven for all time.
Absolutely. And like you say, the Red Sea, it's the great red wave, like Trump likes to say,
Absolutely. Again, a lot of code.
A lot of code. Yeah. Well,